Dillian Whyte knocks out Alexander Povetkin in round 4. Yeah, I kind of got this one wrong.
Bad form for you now, lad. Bad form.
I know. It wasn't. To be fair, I mean, either way, I mean, it's always good. It's nice to get a prediction wrong, but I'm happy I got this one wrong, to be honest, because I really am pleased for Dillian Whyte. I think he definitely showed some improvements, and his jab looked a lot more sharp and crisp. Looked a little bit lighter on his feet. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid win. I was really disappointed with Povetkin. I mean, he didn't really have much to offer at all. I don't really recall him even laying a glove on Dillian Whyte, but nevertheless, a great win for Dillian Whyte. What did you make of it, Rick?
Yeah, I'm bang on form here. Could be going for 3 in a row. Yeah, it was extra pressure on me because I wanted to, I needed to get my prediction right, and obviously wanted the Brit to do well. And yeah, I mean, that's why I was kind of surprised you went the way you did. I mean, I saw it as he was beating him up, and I wouldn't say Povetkin got a lucky punch in because it wasn't lucky, but he switched off and got caught. And for me, it was just the same. He just carried on beating him up and switch off this time. Povetkin looked like he'd aged again, which was another thing that I was thinking about.
Agreed.
You drop off a cliff at that age. It just gets worse and worse. And so I thought that, another 6 months will not help him. He's had COVID as well. I mean, a few people, I kind of half joked. I saw a lot of people on the internet say this, where he actually looked unstable as he was walking to the ring.
Yeah. I think I saw Lou DiBella mentioned that on. He tweeted that actually. He said Povetkin doesn't even look good, walking into the ring. So, yeah, I think it's just a case of absolutely shot to pieces. I guess my rationale for picking him was, well, I mean, I went through it in the first video. I don't think we need to go over it, but I mean, over 200.
Well, please.
I mean, over 200, amateur fights. Won pretty much everything as an amateur. 2004 Olympic gold. I just thought, his ring craft, experience, and it's actually, a testament to Dillian Whyte how far he's come, because he didn't really have that many amateur fights. I think he had like 8 or 9 amateur fights. I know he had a kickboxing background with K1, of which he had a very good record. But I mean, look how far he's come. Like, in how many fights has he had now? 27, 28 for Dillian Whyte. So it's an amazing run.
It is. I mean, I think he looked good, but I think Povetkin is just now. I mean, if you look at the Povetkin that fought in those first 3 or 4 rounds against Joshua,
he
was explosive. He had no explosion about him whatsoever. I mean, it's all right. He's saying he's got so much experience, but his body won't do what his mind's telling him to.
No.
Telling it. You know what I mean? He just hasn't got that explosion. And a Povetkin from 5 years ago could well have done Dillian Whyte even last night.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he would have got hit as often. He'd have been a bit more elusive, and he would have been, he was going to counter the overhand right a couple of times, but he was just shockingly off.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he didn't have much sparring either. If he got back from COVID and his timing wasn't great, but one thing that was odd really. It was like he looked unsteady on his feet a couple of times, more balance. He got caught with a couple of right hands that he seemed to just soak up. There was one where he just he kind of just moved right into Whyte's right hand, and you heard the crunch, and he went back a little bit, but it didn't wobble him really. I was like, Christ, look at that. And then the punch he did get him with seemed to be a bit less.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good knockout, a good finish in the end. It reminded me a little bit of, it's not exactly with the angles, but what's his name? The Australian that Whyte knocked out that time.
Lucas Brown.
Yeah, he kind of just turned around, whipped round, and caught him with a left that was just like a free hit, and that's what he had against Povetkin. He kind of hit him with a right, then a right again, and then just the left, and it was, and I think the ref was right to stop it. The towel came in anyway, to be honest, and it's strange because I don't, Whyte always looks strange to me. Whyte always looks like he's almost unbalanced. And he's got that kind of weird ploddiness, the way he moves and that. And he almost looks like he's knackered. I don't think he is. I don't think he got that tired in the fight because he was all his way. But he fights sometimes like he's knackered and he's a bit disjointed, a bit deceptive, really, I suppose. But yeah, what now for Whyte for you? I mean, it sounds like he's going to go. He's going to fight in America in the summer.
Yeah, I think with the unification fight happening, looking like it's going to happen. Deontay Wilder. I mean, I had a look on a reaction on Twitter, and there's so many calls now. Everybody's like calling Dillian Whyte, Deontay Wilder. They're saying that's the fight. Everybody wants to see that. I don't think that will happen. I think they'll chase him. I think they'll call him out and try and embarrass him a little bit. But there's no way he'll take that. And I'm hearing that Deontay Wilder is going to be fighting Charles Martin. I'm actually hearing that's very close to being done on pay-per-view in the summer.
There's nothing in between.
I don't think so.
Well, Martin's not fought for ages, has he?
No.
But yeah, I think that's a straightforward fight for Wilder.
No, I think it'd be tricky. You know, he's obviously a southpaw. But I think for Whyte, I suspect I suspect he'll fight in the US, and I think he'll target Trevor Bryant for the regular WBA heavyweight title, and I think that'll be in the summer, maybe like a August September fight, maybe something like that.
I think it's going to be a more of a straightforward fight in the summer, and then a bigger move later in the year.
I think Trevor Bryant is straightforward. Do you think Trevor Bryant gives him problems?
I mean, I got the feeling it was a tick-over fight. I don't think Trevor Bryant's a tick-over fight. Am I getting confused? Isn't Bryant fighting for the cat? Isn't he fighting Rivas for the?
No. Yeah, you're getting confused.
Anyway,
with Bryant Jennings is fighting Oscar Rivas for a Bridgerweight title, and then Trevor Bryant, I think he's available. I think that's what I think anyway. I mean, I could be wrong.
I am getting confused. Confused because that is someone around that level, or like a Washington.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
they're the level. I think
I'd put Trevor Bryant as equal to Joel Washington. I think he's there for the take.
No, I agree. Now I was getting confused with Jennings. I was getting confused with Jennings. Yeah. And then like a bigger move in the summer for someone. In later in the winter.
Yeah. But no, it's awesome. It's awesome that he's secured the win, puts himself right back in the mix, right back in, for me, the top 5 heavyweights in the world again. I still think he's a way off, Fury and Joshua and maybe Wilder. But puts himself right back in the mix. Great win. What did you make of the rest of the card?
Do you think he just before we get on to that, just 2 things. One, I agree with you on Wilder. I don't think Wilder will fight him unless it's for the belt, which may happen in 2022. I think Wilder will get in with him for the belt, but he won't fight unless it's. What else was I going to say? I can't remember.
Ask about Wilder.
No, it was about. It was about Whyte. Who's going to fight next? But anyway, yeah.
All right.
The card.
Yeah, the rest of the card.
So, card. It's all right. I think. It's weird because I was so supercharged for the main event because obviously it was tense and what happened last time. I actually forgot how poor the undercard was. When I look, I think you texted me, this is chief support. I was like, yeah, it's pretty poor that as chief support. Now, I think they get a few free hits here because I think one, they've got no crowd, and that's a loss of about 2 million profit, I reckon. So I reckon they get about and fill in the O2, and then it probably costs them $1 million to rent it for the night, but. So that doesn't have the undercard. And also, I mean, I think the first fight did around 280. And Hearn didn't give a number, but he confirmed it was higher. And he went, it was an IFL interview, he went 350, 400, and he went, So I reckon it was over 300. So they did more buys than last time.
Probably. It's a bigger fight, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I think that's how they got away with such a poor undercard as well. It was real intrigue in the main event. And in the UK, there's bugger all to do at the moment. No one can go out. I mean, I do think they're going to struggle. That 1st of May card could come under a bit of pressure, because that'll be interesting, because people will be able to go out in the 1st of May. It's not quite. You eat and drink outside, so that might still put a few people off. But I think
they can go out. They will. Everybody will want to go out. It could actually have a reverse effect on pay-per-view success numbers, I think.
Well, yeah, it could be.
Everybody's going to be dying to go. Nobody wants to stay in now that you can go out again.
Yeah, the problem is you can't go in anywhere. It's all outdoors in May till the 17th of May. So the 1st of May, so if it's bad weather, people won't go out. So that one's a bit risky. But yeah, I mean, I thought trying to think some of the
Fabio Wardley. What did you make of Fabio Wardley versus Molina?
Bizarre fight, really bizarre. Don't know what Wardley was playing at. Seemed to have no respect for him and kept his guard down and kept getting caught a few times, and then he got caught properly, and then I don't know, Molina didn't seem to go down quite easily. I mean, at first it was a bit of a strange knockdown, and then in slow motion you can see him hitting him. It's strange. That's 2 weird knockouts he's had, Wardley, that didn't seem to be much, and they're on the floor for a bit. But he got the job done. But it was a strange fight. Thought Campbell Hatton was erratic, kind of how I expected him to be. He was absolutely knackered afterwards.
Yeah.
Cheeseman's never a boring fight. That was a good fight and a great ending.
Yeah.
He had him. They both had each other wobble before that, actually. But yeah, Cheeseman's not. I mean, we were saying before, he's 25 and he ain't getting to 30 boxing. But so when I say that, I mean he's not going to be still boxing at 30 because he just has wars.
Yeah. He gets hit way too easy.
He just has wars.
Cheeseman.
He gets hit and he hasn't got great power. So when he catches people, which he does, he doesn't buzz them too much. Do you know what I mean? So it's not great for longevity. Congo fight, well, he lost. That was started off quite good and then kind of bored out of it. Who was the first fight? Who was the heavyweight fight at the beginning?
Pfeiffer.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shock. Nick Webb won that in the second round, and he wasn't meant to. Now everyone's gunning for him. I think the Savage is wanting a bit of him. So yeah, it was an all right card, but weak for pay-per-view. But it obviously did all right because no one's got anything better to do. And I was a bit. I think I was a bit gutted with not gutted. I was a bit. The Wardley fight was other than the main event. I was interested to see Campbell Hatton just because intrigue. But I was actually quite looking forward to seeing Wardley and Molina, and that was just a bizarre fight.
How far do you think he'll go, Fabio Wardley? Do you rate him?
I don't know what I think of him, especially after that. I mean, depends how shot Ruiz is. I mean, they did, after. I mean, you text me like after the 2 rounds, going first 2 rounds to Molina, and I'm like, probably right. And I did think, Molina is a bit of a step up from who he's been in with to go to Molina. But I know Molina hasn't got much ambition left, but he has fought at a decent level. Yeah. We've had 2 world fights. I don't know, just weird knockouts. It may just mean he just has like really weird power.
Yeah.
If that's the case, he's going to be a nightmare for anyone. But I just don't know. I thought I'd come out of that fight knowing where I placed him, and I still don't know.
No.
And there's no talk of him going in with. I mean, he's English champion, but there's not much talk of him being British champion. They don't seem to want to, put him in with any. I think he'll be in with someone again who's a bit past it next time. You know, he's a lot less experience and that. And I mean, who's going to fight for the British? It's vacant at the moment, isn't it?
I think Joe Joyce still technically holds it, but he will most likely relinquish when he fights Usyk for the WBA.
Gorman won last night, so he might fight for it.
Who?
Gorman.
Oh, Nathan Gorman.
Yeah.
So he's got it.
No. I mean, he might fight for it again.
Yeah, he won last night.
That's what I mean. Yeah, he won last night. So he might fight. Yeah.
He still looks really out of shape though. He doesn't look good. Nathan Gorman.
I heard he lost a lot of weight, but
he still doesn't look. He still looks very, very flashy. But yeah,
I'm
a bit the same with you with Fabio Wardley. I wasn't very impressed with him at all. I think he's kind of got that crazy like Adam Booth style. Like you could have swear he's trained by Adam Booth with his arms, side by side, and he's just trying to draw a lead hand from somewhere and then counter him.
I don't remember him fighting like that before. Does he always fight like that?
I don't know.
Don't seem to.
I'm not sold on him yet. Anyway, we'll see.
Okay.
All right. So all done. We're going to do a quick prediction on next week's action. Jamal Herring versus Carl Frampton. Thanks everybody for listening. Please like and subscribe.